Hello and welcome back to Gabs on a beautiful sunny day in Barnsley. Well, I say sunny, it's been everything today, so we're trying to work as quickly as we can because there is a right storm incoming in a couple of hours. So this customer has asked us to do a general tidy up and mainly focusing on this back wall that I'm starting on now. We're going to start in that corner and work anti-clockwise through. There's a lot of weeds, nettles, thistle coming through from the neighbour's garden that he backs onto. So we're going to cut all that back, dig it all out and give it a treatment. So the customer says he wanted to take it really back. I'm always a bit on cautious side of this, so I like to give it a good trim. I go and knock on the door, see it, let the customer come and have a look, see if they're happy with it before I tidy away, because we can always take a bit more off. We can't put any back on. And 9 times out of 10, they're happy with what I've done, but sometimes there is always that one that does want a little bit more taken off, and that's fine. It's just you don't want to take something too back, kill it off, and then have the customer complaining. So we did a nice tidy up of this. As you see, top of fences coming through now, and we'll start doing some weeding. There are a lot of obstacles in this garden. I found a family of gnomes up at top, which you'll see me move about in a minute, and a bench. There's an erin poking through as well in top corner. But I'm sowing a conifer down there that was left in a pot. I think the roots just go round and round, and it didn't look in the best shape, and the customer said, can we just get rid of it? So I said, yeah, no problem, we can get rid of that for you. And just look how much it's opened it up. Chop that up into small pieces, put it in my waste bin, ready for tipping. Now it's a bit hard to see, but I keep looking up of it. We're an absolute beautiful view from his back garden over at Hills. But I keep looking up because I know it looks like it's a nice summer's day with blue sky, but in distance there's a right storm coming, and I can hear rumbles of thunder when I ain't got edge cutters on. So I'm a bit nervous and I'm a bit in a rush to try and get this done before any thunder and lightning come. I was doing a jet washing job a couple of weeks back, and that was exact same. It was just thunder and lightning in distance, and it was getting closer and closer, but I managed to get it done in time. But one thing I forgot to mention is we're using our brand new tripod. And it's a good one. TikTok shop has never let me down. It's wide-legged, 4-legged, so it's stable. I mean, there's no wobble there whatsoever, and you can see it is a little bit windy. And it has got a self-moving feature. Now, for the purpose of this video, I have turned it off because I just wanted to focus on that area that I'm working in. But for the lights when I'm jet washing, it has actually got a small camera or a sensor up front, and it will track my movements from side to side. Oh, it does 360. And I believe it was like £8 something. And with the delivery, I think the delivery was like £4, but if I spent another £3 somewhere, I got free delivery. So I bought myself a new mic that plugs in bottom and charging port my phone, and then attaches at the top of my t-shirt, and it is crystal clear. I don't know how they can make these products, ship them halfway across the world for like £11 for both. It's unreal, but I'm not complaining because they're brilliant. So as you can see, I'm doing a lot of weeding there. There were thistles, nettles, all sorts. And I find these jobs a bit of a chore, but a lot of people ask for them, and we very rarely we turn a job down based on what it is. We only turn a job down if it's too big of a job and we can't actually manage it. But it was a bit of a pain to get all them out, and we're going to give them a nice treating, a weed killer once we're done. They're a lovely fish pond. You can't really see it on camera, but there's a bit of lavender behind me, and the fish in that were absolutely gorgeous. Said he'd had it in for absolutely years, and he'd really looked after it. Where I am there is all filter mechanism for it, and the seat gnomes that I'm moving. They're a full family. They're a man, wife, and 3 kids. But so I'll try working around them, but sometimes it's just a lot easier just to get stuff out of the way, crack on and put it back. So a bit about tools that I'm using today. I brought my mattock with me. I always like to do a bit of, if I'm winning a big bed, I use mattock so it goes through easy as out. But I hadn't actually used it today because the soil was that fine. The jaw just pulled out and they weren't heavily rooted. So I'm using at minute on that. I'm using a silky saw. You cannot go wrong with a silky saw. Yeah, they are a little bit on the expensive side, but I got I forget what brand it was, but it was a cheap brand from Screwfix or Tool Station, and it is absolutely rubbish. I used it once, put it down, never picked it up again. Always go back to silky. And you can get extended poles from as well for bigger jobs. They are just the best. But as for edge cutter and blower, I've always had steel. I find that they're best. They're low maintenance. I always give my edge cutter a dollop or everyday use oil on a blade just before I use it. But apart from that, knocking air filter out, I think I've changed spark plug once in probably 10 years, and it is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Never let me down. It always fires up, well, majority of the time, first time. You get a little bleed up. My blower, on the other hand, when I first got that, it was really temperamental. It won't rev up whatsoever. I don't know if there's a blockage in fuel line. I don't know what we're up with, but I took it to bits. I'm no mechanic, but I took it to bits best I can, and built it all back up. And fingers crossed, it has been good ever since. I don't know if there was just a blockage in fuel line and I've managed to move it, but it starts up and freely revs now. So you see I'm attacking this in top corner. The customer said take a lot of width and height out. Now, I took as much as I dared out, have a good look at it, and then I go and knock at customer's door to see if he wants any more. I were a bit reluctant. I mean, it does look a bit of a mess, but these types of edge always look a mess because they're not like a full, like a privet. They're very spaced out. So if you take one limb out, you've got gaps in them. But we have a good tidy up, and customer will come out and have a look and see what we've done so far. I always like to get their opinion halfway through a job. Grass cutting not so much, because grass cutting is grass cutting. But on a job like this, we always get their opinion halfway through, because I don't like to fully tidy up, get all my tools back in van, and then they ask me, no, that's not right, I want that doing, I want this doing. So I always get their opinion halfway through, and then see where we are from there. As you can see there, it's getting a bit overcast. There's a few clouds coming over. I'm thinking I really need to hurry up here. I can see that storm is getting closer and closer and closer. But we just crack on. There were tons and tons of dead leaves under there, like it had not been touched for a really long time. So we cleared all that out. I like to empty into a bin. A lot of people swear by ton sacks. I use ton sacks as well, but I've bought a bin, and primarily I was going to use it as like a water butt. Just have a minute and a quick vape. Always got time for a minute, even if rain is incoming. But yeah, I was saying I was going to use it as a water butt, just so I could have a trickle feed from customers' tap on jet washing jobs, then plug my jet wash in to the bottom of it. But 9 times out of 10, the customer has high pressure water, so I went away from that idea. And I have got an IBC in my van that I can run straight to me jet wash, and more times than not, I can get my van close enough that I can just run hose pipe straight off that. But so I start using my bin for collecting, and then it is easier to tip out. Plus, it's easier to store in my van. You can fit a lot more in because you can squash it down, as you keep seeing I'm doing. It was a ton sack. It's like a dead weight. It just spreads out all over. So I do prefer using a bin. I don't know what other gardeners prefer. That's just in my opinion. But if I have got more rubbish than one bin, I will use a ton sack on top of it. But it's just how layout of my van is. So you can see customers come out here. I've got a knocked on the door and says, what do we think about what I've done so far? Is there anything else, any more you want me to do? Take some bits off this, take some bits off that. And he said he wanted more taking off both the hedges, which is not a problem at all. Like I say, I like to get their advice. They always said that we're the experts, but at the end of the day, it's their garden and they're paying for it how they want it. So I roughly know how long a job is going to take me when I go and do the quote, but I don't really price on time. I price on the job and whether I'm taking the rubbish away or I'm using like their green bin. That's how I work my stuff out. So you see, I'm taking some more off this for him. They were a bit covering up the corner of the pond, which he wanted removing, and then uncovered a bit of a bramble which I'd missed actually, so I got that out as well. And then this is the curse of the commentator: my edge cutter will not start. But after about 15 pulls, primed it up 3 times, we finally got going. And he wanted me to take a lot more of this, so we took a full bit offside and shaped all that front bit up. Some more obstacles in way. But everything in this garden were in pots. There was nothing planted actually in the soil. Even the big one corner, it was in a pot, which I thought were a bit strange, and I didn't realise that it would get that big in a pot. I thought pot would strangle it, but turns out it doesn't. And they all look healthy, apart from that one in corner had been took over by a bit of ivy, but we stripped all that back so it couldn't strangle it. And there's a lot more came off this than I thought there would. I see they can't see it shot, but there's a picture to the left. There's probably 3/4 of a ton sack on that pile, plus a green bin. But it's all factored into price about doing job and taking it away. And I mean, some jobs you win, some jobs you lose. Where you're taking stuff away, you can't win them all. Every gardener knows. But we carry on with a good clean up. There were a lot fell in front of that shed on the right hand side, so we scooped all that up. Go around with blower, and I don't know if anybody else has got one of them handheld blowers, but I find it a lot. For the jobs I do, it's a lot better than the big still ones that go on your back. One for taking up room in my van, and I find that it's not that different on power. Plus the price. The price difference in them both were ridiculous. And I don't think I warrant the big ones that go on your back like a backpack, like the Ghostbuster one in effect. But for the jobs I do. But so we've had a quick whiz round with the weed killer, and I'm trying to get inside of my van there and realise I'm part too close to a wall. I can't touch up and side door, so we're climbing about. Not ideal, but it is where it is. It took me ages to find cover for me edge cutter blade as well, because I always put stuff down and forget where I put it. You see now me loading up into ton sack. There's quite a lot of this. I didn't realise how much I'd actually cut off, but it don't take me long. But I think my new tripod is a success. There's been no wobble, no accidents. and we're back to recording content. One last buzz round with blower. Leave it nice and clean for the customer. Always try and leave it how we find it. And that is a wrap. So this is how we left it. The customer was happy with how we'd finished it. Put a weed killer down. The family and gnomes are happy because they're not in the shade anymore. I will be back in a couple of months to do another once over and a weed kill. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, please.